Greetings, friends and fiends, and welcome to The Keep. I am Lindsay the Keeper, and it is my duty to protect this reality from eldritch horrors by reading tales from r/RPG horror stories. Now, if you saw my thumbnail for this video, you will know this is going to be a Harry Potter RPG horror story, and I want to put this on the record. I do like Harry Potter. In fact, I am a Ravenclaw with some Slytherin tendencies. However, I do not support J.K. Rowling and her views. I will also admit I have been in many Harry Potter RPGs in Discord where sometimes there is a story behind it, and other times there is too much drama both in and out of role-playing. There is nothing wrong with wanting to make a game out of something that you love, from Harry Potter to Lord of the Rings to even Pirates of the Caribbean. But it can cause lots of problems if you, as a player or a DM, try to fill out your fanfiction fantasy on this world. In this tale, Opie tells their story how they were part of a dark-themed Harry Potter RPG as a first-year student, and what was supposed to be a magical adventure turns into some sort of fanservice fetish the DM was trying to make. Now, sit back, relax, and cuddle up to your favorite tendril as I begin reading this tale. Enjoy! This is written by Charlotte Sauce with the title, Harry Potter Campaign Became Fanservice Hell for Children Characters. I have a Discord group where me and my friends play D&D all the time, with our own games and such. Some of us have really loved Harry Potter since we were little. One day, one of our friends decided to DM a homebrew Harry Potter system, similar to D&D. We were all very excited since Harry Potter is a very interactive, role-playing friendly story. Our characters had just started the wizard life and were all 11 years old, so basically kids. The DM said her world wouldn't be exactly like Harry Potter, and would be more dark and heavy themed. We agreed, of course, the difficulty would worsen year by year. Right? Wrong. I am not gonna introduce our characters, cause I won't focus them that much. The only relevant information is that they were 5 children from different houses. 1 Slytherin, 2 Ravenclaw, 1 Hufflepuff, and 1 Gryffindor. You see, the beginning was fun. We met each other, made character traits visible, went through some cool dark scene where the train was stopped by some Grim Reaper people that worked for a corrupted politician, etc., etc. Everything was fine until we got to our houses. Then 3 NPCs were introduced. 1 from Slytherin, 1 from Hufflepuff, and 1 from Gryffindor. They were nice and friendly. We thought they would be like seniors that help us on some tasks that were too hard for children. Maybe teach us some spells, some information about the school, help us befriend teachers. Nope. They were the students, the popular people, the protagonists. Everyone in school loved them and only talk about them. Grades? Oh, the Slytherin one is so good at them. Quidditch? Oh, the Gryffindor one is perfect at that. Even when we tried to have scenes focus on us, they would show up and be the boss popular kids. It was frustrating. Things got worse. 2 of the popular ones were dudes fighting over the only girl of their group. DM's self-inserted character, by the way. So we were constantly forced into some romantic cliché situations where we had to help one of them get the girl, even though we didn't give a damn about the crappy love triangle thing. The whole campaign was focused on romance only. Our characters were freaking 11! They were confused most of the time. Even the also 11-year-old NPCs made questions all about romance. Which teacher would you marry? Are you going out with that NPC you spent like 30 minutes sitting next to you for dinner? I know teens are all about that stuff, but come on! That was especially frustrating to my character since her backstory was about having to marry some guy for the sake of saving her father. They would marry after graduation because his family was famous for its healers and influence. My plan was to get her independence later by the passing year. She didn't even like to interact with him. She hated forced romance or being forced into romantic/erotic situations. Her fiancé was a dick 2 years older than her, and she was just a child. But the worst is yet to come. The DM introduced us to the villains, some shape-shifting creatures that absorb wizards and use their skin as disguises to pretend they were them. Cool, right? That's what we all thought. Until that day. We were invested in the story, searching for students that were acting weird, searching for clues. We even saw some bizarre events, like one of them almost absorbing someone's skin. All good and crazy, until we finally almost tracked one of them. Sadly, using my character as bait on a date since the thing was using her fiancé's skin and it French kissed her. Then, when the session was done, the DM started a cutscene. This scene where the shapeshifters reunite and the fiancé one was scared of almost being caught by our team. One of them consoles him and tells him it's okay, and then they started making out. Yeah, she really described the shapeshifters smooching from nowhere, with details, mind you. We knew she had a thing for gay men on her tables because almost every adult male teacher was gay or interested in men in some way, kind of sexualizing gay people. A huge red flag, but we thought the main issue was the extremely romance-coded game, so we just set that aside. After that, we kinda talked to her and tried to explain all the problems. Sadly, nobody was brave enough to tell her that the smooching scene was cringe as hell. The game had a few more sessions before we tried to reset from zero with a new player, but eventually, the DM was set off by our critiques and became tired of her own creation. We were sad because we loved our characters and wanted to play, but oh god, I don't want to play as a child on a game like that. She says she doesn't know how to create adventures for children characters, but come on, even if we weren't 11, this was uncomfortable as hell. First, the NPCs only cared about dating people or getting laid. Second, the bad guys suck each other's tongue to cope with stress? No thank you. P.S. I'm 25. We're all in our 20s. TLDR? We tried a dark-themed Harry Potter campaign, but the DM keeps using NPCs and villains to make cheap fan service to the point the villains started making out in a cutscene. End of story. Here are some unwanted advice. If you do want to make a game like this, make sure that everyone is cool with the setting and theme before starting it. This dark theme game felt more like a dating sims, but magical in a sense. Also, if you don't know how to make a game with children characters, up their age. There is nothing wrong with aging the characters to be old enough to have some common sense, but young enough to know that they are not adults. It can make storytelling easier, and you can make Session Zero not only as a sit down and let's make the world together, but as a this is how we met in our first year and how our friendship started, before fast forwarding to 4th or 5th year. As for the DM of this story, my advice for you is to have your fan service fix. Just write a fanfiction or webpad instead of dragging others into uncomfortable scenes, especially coming from someone who is part of the LGBT plus community. I will never understand why people want to overly sexualize gay people. It's extremely unnecessary and uncalled for. But, on the positive side, there are games that can make a Harry Potter game easier, like D&D's Strixhaven, a Circle of Chaos, or Kids on Brooms from the same makers of Kids on Bikes, which I am not sponsored by either of them. But I will still put their links down in the description because I feel like it's important to explore new games within your favorite hobby. Now that the story is over and reality is still in a state of calm, I'm going to depart for now. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. You can also send me an email if you have a particular story you want me to read on this channel. I hope to see you all in the next video.